On Sunday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome. Can't hear me yet again. What about now? Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear my mic? I know the mic is kind of shaky, but let me know if you guys can hear me through my mic. Wonderful. Excellent. Let's rock and roll. If it gets crackly, please don't feel let me know if it starts to get crackly, because you know me, I rage inside, but I keep a good face like this. But here we are. For those that are tuned in on podcast form, you guys are tuning in on streaming. You're on your phone. You got me on the big screen at home. Salute to everybody. What's going on? What's happening? Are you enjoying yourself with a wonderful week 1 of football? Did you guys enjoy yourself? How was your blood pressure? Is your little pill capsule bottle, is it empty? Did you have to take a couple of those capsules to kind of get your blood pressure low? Good Lordy. That's exactly what was taking place for me. All over the place. And I got something to share with you guys, because I'm not sure. Let me see if I can try to find it, because I know my wife sent me a picture, and I'd love to be able to share something with you guys, a video, if you will. And if you can bear and stick with me, I'd love to show something to you, because I think a lot of people were just like me watching the Bills game not too long ago. I mean, it was just a couple days ago, and I feel like I'm still on a high. I'm still on a high. And for you guys that are in the United States, I love that you guys are in the States, because obviously it's a little more condensed. You guys got a lot of people there, and there's Ravens fans that you can find and pluck wherever you live at. And they're crying. They don't know how to handle what took place. Sometimes you just have to just bear with us. Just bear with us. And you just got to deal with it. And they're not dealing well, ladies and gentlemen. They're not dealing very well. So what I wanted to do was share a screen for you, if you will. If you just want to give me a moment here, because I got a video to share with you guys. If bear with me here. Let me stop sharing one screen. Let me show you another, and we can go from there. So, folks, this is your boy. This was your boy on Sunday night. Take a look. Take a listen.
I can't
41 years old.
It's not over. Until those things go right through the uprights, we learned our lesson.
Phil said that dog, I don't know. Right to the very end.
Shout out to Wifey.
God love us.
Now, let me tell you something. If you are a middle-aged man or not, you're in your 30s, your 40s, you play some football, at one point in your life, you are in this stance right here. 2-point stance. Don't get in threes. You don't need to get in your 4-point stance. Just a 2-point stance. Enough to just have a steady base. Have a steady base, and you're good to go. That's it. Steady base. And I needed to be in a steady base, and I was ready for it. Win or lose, I was ready to celebrate. Not quite to celebrate, but I was ready to react. Let's put it that way. And ladies and gentlemen, the rest is history. Now, I got to share something with you. I got to be real with you. Something happened. Yeah. I must have threw my arm out like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. Okay.
This is the way to start the
Absolutely.
season, bro. What?
And this is a tamed me.
Oh my, Josh
Let me
Allen.
tell you something. That is a tamed Rico. That is a very tamed me. I'll tell you why. The kids are upstairs sleeping. don't forget, my time zone is a little later than you guys. So it's like 1 a.m. at that point, give or take. And I'm trying to control myself. So imagine if this is a 1 o'clock game. I'm going buck wild. Now, full transparency. The game was Sunday. We're Tuesday. This morning I got up, and I think I went to reach something. And I felt like I was like, oh, that's tight. And the tightness I was feeling was if like I worked out or I played golf and I was just doing one motion. I felt this pain before. And I was like, what the hell did I do? It turns out those punching the air, dude, I strained my back. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was feeling a little tight. I'm feeling tight right now, but it's a good tightness. It's a fantastic tightness. Ladies and gentlemen, the things that we do, the ways that we react to the team that we love, y'all, I'm feeling it right now. I'm for real. I'm 40, bro. I'm 40. These are things that you heard your old man or your uncle or whoever talk about. Hey, man, this is what took place, this, that, and the third, and you're the old man, my shoulder. Bro, I'd laugh at that. Now I'm like, yo, I got to take it easy. I got to take it. You know how my Spanish folk, I got to take it easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that spring chicken anymore. Though I swear, 4 punches in the air and I'm throwing my shoulder out. What? I was half joking when I said it. Here I am today, folks. Welcome to another show. Love it. Here's the deal. I gotta get into it, right? And I gotta get right into the Ravens. Ravens fans, if you listening to this, I want you to listen good. You guys should be absolutely pissed off with your head coach. You guys should absolutely be pissed off with your head coach. And I'll tell you why. Here's the deal. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the game in Lamar Jackson. You have one of the best running backs in the game in Derrick Henry. You have one of the best quarterbacks on the sideline just waiting to get a chance because he has had that feeling before. They call it the Josh Allen rule. You got to give him a chance to get the ball back, right? Josh is waiting for his opportunity. It's 4th and 3. You go for it. You know what it tells me? You don't trust your quarterback. You don't trust your running back. And you certainly don't trust your offense. You put the trust in the defense that allowed 41 points hung on you guys. Shame on Harbaugh. Shame on fans that are not blaming him. The Bills are 1-0. We'll see you in January. Folks, I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta keep it a buck. It's absolutely wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me that they allowed that those shenanigans to go down. Well, here we are. The Bills are 1-0. And you guys have heard me say this before. I absolutely hate when the Bills or if a team starts 0-1. It's just tough. I even saw today a Giants fan came on and said, we absolutely needed that game against the Washington Commanders. We needed it. You have no idea we needed it because now we're going up against the Dallas Cowboys next week or the Philly. I forgot who they're playing. And if we lose that game, we're 0-2. We lose the one after that, we're done. I don't want to hear people telling me that there's 15 games left. We're 0-3 in the NFC East. We're done. Guys, that's how important these wins are early. We can't have this mentality of, oh, we wait till week 8. We can't. The Ravens going 0-1, it's not a great look. I don't know who they play next. I'm sure it's probably going to be a AFC foe. Maybe it's a division game. And now they got to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got to face who knows who they got to face. The point of the matter is this. You can't afford to lose these games. And I'm so glad we got that conference win. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. But folks, I didn't want to start off with the Ravens, but I had to start off with the Ravens because I needed to get that out of the way. Now that that's out of the way, we got to talk about some things, man. We got to talk about some things because rewatching this game gave me an opportunity to see and to acknowledge we had no business winning that game. We had no business winning that game. And there's just so many things. And I shared it with my man Bot not too long ago. But there's just so many things that happen, that take place, where you're like, what's happening? But the one thing that stood out to me was the 4th and 2. The 4th and 2. I didn't realize how crazy that play was until you start seeing replays and people talk about it. Fam, it's 4th and 2. Kudos to the O-line. The O-line gave Josh time all night. They gave him time all night. It took Josh to realize that, my O-line is not really letting these guys come in on me, and I'm rushing my throws. I'm taking all the underneath throws. I need to slow my butt down, and that he did. And once he did and realized he has time, Josh became Josh, and that was a bad thing for the Ravens. But that 4th and 2, where the ball was intended for what looks like to be Khalil Shakir, but tipped by Dawson Knox, because Dawson Knox was like, is that for me? Maybe it's not. I'm going to tip it. Tip drill, a.k.a. I'm not going to go there. I was going to be inappropriate. Tip drill. And then you have Keon Coleman come down with it? Are you kidding me? Tipped by Dawson Knox, intended for Khalil Shakir, in the hands of Keon Coleman. That's what he said. Okay, we got something. We're on to something. I couldn't believe it. I was like, as if that just happened. I think a lot of fans were ready to say, this is it. I guess this is how we're going to go out. Oh, wait a minute. Keon Coleman just caught that? Okay, we're still in it. And then the rest is history. But that play was absolutely unbelievable. Big shout out to the Bills. Big shout out to the O-line for giving Josh the time. Big shout out to Kyle Van Noy. That was just a second too slow. There were so many things that played a factor in this. Let me keep going. Obviously, we know about the Ed Oliver, and we're going to talk on Ed Oliver in just a little bit. But near the end, the Bills bring out the kicker, Matt Prater. Prater obviously hits the field goal. But did you guys see Kyle Hamilton, which is the Ravens, arguably one of the Ravens' best defenders, if not the best defender? Kyle Hamilton was literally less than an inch from blocking that kick. Do you know how devastating that would have had all Bills fans? We would have been demoralized. We would have had the hope we got this game to blocked. Are you kidding me? And then we would have been like, who? What happened? And if you look at what happened, I think it was TJ Sanders. I think it was TJ Sanders. TJ Sanders, you got to know better. You don't block outside in. You block inside out. He took the second threat and allowed Kyle Hamilton, which stands at 6'2", to get up there. I'm shocked he didn't block that kick. Absolutely shocked he didn't block that kick. And the rest, I say again, is history. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bills come out with a 41-4. I can't believe it. A 41-40 beatdown. I can't even call it a beatdown. A 41-40 squeaker. We literally, figuratively stripped the Ravens of a win. We stripped them of a win. Kudos to those boys. They absolutely did a fantastic job of closing out. Let's keep it real. Hold on. They did a great job of closing out because we got the defensive stops that we needed in the right time, big time defensive stops. Obviously, we let Derrick Henry do what he needs to do, but when push came to shove, we got the job done because that's all that matters. Nobody's going to be looking back to week 1 on what took place. You know what they're going to be looking back at? Is it a W or is it an L? Just tell me what it is. Is it a W or an L? Let's not forget, folks. This is not just the Bills need to make the playoffs and let's go and try to win this. No. We've got goals to attain here. We've got goals to attain. Number 1 is win the freaking division. That must continue. And I must say, side note, how lovely it is for the Bills to be 1-0 and the rest of the AFC East 0-1. You got to love it. Let me continue. The goal is obviously to jump in and win the division yet again. We're going 6th time, baby. We're going for the 6th time. But the most important thing is to win the conference, is to get the number 1 seed. That's the key. Division is cute. And I say cute because we've been doing it. So it's like, put it on the list. We got that. We'll take care of it. You know what I mean? When Honey gives you a list, that honey-do list, it's part of the honey-do list. The honey-do list is win the division. Another part of the honey-do list is get Josh the MVP again. Another honey-do list is, you know what I'm saying, get coach of the year. And then, you know what I mean, we finish the list by winning the whole Super Bowl. But you got to get that number 1 seed. The season has started off with a bang, with a dub, and you love to see it. Now, let me move to my next segment. Offense. Let's go with the offense. Keon Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, question for Bills Mafia. Is it too soon to announce that Keon Coleman has arrived? Has Keon Coleman arrived? Ladies and gentlemen, if he hasn't arrived, he's damn near knocking on that door to let people know last year was trash. This year, I'm trying to do something. The best is yet to come. Hang tight. I'm just getting warmed up. But can we say he's arrived, or is it too soon? Is it too soon? Because I'll tell you, I was asking where he was at. If the outcome of the game did not change, you guys know I always have a list of who needs to be looked at. Where did he go? We're looking for him. Do we need to put him on that APB list? Is he missing? I was about to say, my man's is missing. I hope I don't have to put him on the carton. And that I did not. Has he arrived? Can we say Keon Coleman? Is Keon Cole him? Is he Keon Cole him? Or should we just chill? He's just a Keon Cole man. Let me just chill. He's just a man right now. But he hasn't become him yet. In my opinion, calmate. You showed us that what we saw in the offseason seems to be transpiring and seems to be transitioning into the season with your quarterback. And the fact of the matter is this: your quarterback trusts you. Nothing better than when the quarterback, your franchise quarterback, your QB1 says, who can make a play? Keon says, I can. Led the team with 8 receptions, over 100 yards, and a receiving touchdown. By the way, if you drafted Keon Coleman and you benched him, shame on you. That's me. I still won my game, but that's me. That's me. Shame on me. Shame. So now I gotta insert my brother back into the lineup. We gotta discuss that. But Keon Coleman, has he arrived? Or do we need to see more? Big shout out to Keon Coleman. But here's the big thing about what I love about what took place with Keon. He ain't sitting there, and I think this is one of the best traits that I like about Keon. He ain't sitting here going, man, I was great, and I was this and I was that. Bro's like, it's another day, man. I did what I need to do. I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it. But he's stoic, he's poised, he ain't too high, he ain't too low. That brother is confident in himself and he's confident in his abilities. But you ain't gonna see him You mean braggadocious and all that stuff. Now that chain I like, but I liked what I saw from our second-year receiver. And the fact that he said, hey, Keon, how did you feel? How do you feel about your rookie season? It seems like you fared trash. Trash. That brother knows he's got expectations. He's got expectations. The same way that Josh has expectations, he's got expectations. We have expectations. Let's not forget, this brother was drafted with our first pick. There were other receivers we could have taken, but they saw something in Keon. Josh Allen was like, that's the guy I want. They're making it work. You got to love it. You got to love it. Keon Coleman, my guy. I like this. I want to see more. We want to see more. Let's keep it rolling. All right. All right. My girl Laura's like, yo, I'm too hyped. Let me relax. Let me relax. Don't relax, Laura. Keep it pushing, girl. Push it to the limit. Keep it pushing. Let's go. All right. Let me keep rolling. This show's going to go by fast today, folks. I don't know. I'm trying to pace myself. It's going to go by fast. I'm still excited. Offensive side of the ball, Josh Palmer. I wasn't sure. I was questioning what Josh Palmer was going to bring to the table. I wasn't sure. And I was questioning what Keon Coleman was doing. And then I was like, hold on, we just paid this guy a good amount of money. We didn't, I mean, you got to represent Canada, my G. From Brampton, my G. You got to represent. Don't come to Buffalo and then you lay a goose egg. We needed to see something from Keon Coleman. That we did, ladies and gentlemen. That we did. And I'm happy to say that we did. Because Palmer is just getting warmed up. I have high hopes for Palmer. I still have high hopes. I started to question it. I was like, it's taking a while because I didn't really hear too much in the offseason with him in my man's. But I needed to see something. But I think Palmer is going to have a good year. Now, I may have to dial back because I said he's got big shoes to fill. And with the departing of Stephon Diggs, with his ability to run routes and get separation, bigger type receiver, this might be the guy that comes in and becomes Josh's go-to. I may not need him to be the go-to because Keon just pretty much stole the show. But I still have high hopes for my guy, Josh Palmer. And the more that he realizes and starts witnessing, yo, this place is different. I mean, when I was in you ain't in San Diego anymore, bro. You ain't in LA anymore, bro. You in Buffalo, man. We eat, they sleep, they breathe football. Ain't no time to la-di-da in the sunshine, bro. You got 3 more weeks, 3, maybe 4 more weeks of sunshine, and then the grit comes. That cold comes. The beautiful thing about it is my man grew up in Canada, so he's already acclimated to that. But I'm glad to know that Josh has 2 guys that he can go to in the stretch to move the sticks. And here's the more encouraging part. You still got Kincaid that's going to keep being the guy for Josh at some point. And you still got the reliable, dependable Khalil Shakir. So your top 4 receiving options are solid. I didn't even get into what Shavers potentially could do or Elijah Moore. And Curtis Samuel was a healthy scratch. We're going to see how it all shakes out. But Josh Palmer, welcome to Buffalo. It's a solid first day. A solid first day. I need to see more. I'd love to see more. And I think that you have the potential to be a big-time receiver in Buffalo. Man, I love what I saw from the offense side of the ball. One more shout-out. O-line. You got to give a shout-out to the O-line. The O-line kept Josh clean. The O-line kept Josh upright. Yes, Josh took that 1 sack, but that was more of a coverage sack. It wasn't like we gave up and it was somebody that got beat terribly. Josh was like, I don't like what I see. I don't like what I see. I'll just take that sack. I know he hated it, but he took that sack. You got to give it to him. But that O-line with Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, McGovern, you know what I'm saying, Cyborg, Edwards, listen, this O-line is looking like they're going to continue what they left off of protecting Josh and having him as a least sack quarterback. I think that's going to continue. Big shout out to the O-line. Big shout out to the two receivers that stepped up in the clutch in the end for Josh. And away we go. One last one I got to give a shout out to, man. Jackson Hawes with the one reception. Some might say that was the one that kind of like the water was filling into the cup and overfilled the cup. That catch right there. And what made fans say the options that Josh has, literally everyone eats. Now, if everyone eats like this, and I was saying this last year, and this game really stands out to a testament that what I've been trying to say. And tell me if you've heard me say this before. And all I want to see is a thumbs up in the chat. Remember when I said, I don't mind that this whole everybody eats thing is a thing. I don't mind that it's a thing. But when daddy comes to the table, daddy needs to have a little bit more portion than everybody else. I love my kids. I love my wife. I love my in-laws. Maybe they came for dinner, but daddy gets a little bit more on his plate. And Keon Coleman became the guy that said, I want a little bit more on my plate. And I'm taking it. And I needed that to happen, but maybe I was just calling for it too soon. Have we seen this? Are we seeing this happen live in front of us? Do you guys remember when I said that? Daddy sits at the table, daddy wants more. If there's 4 drumsticks, you better put those 4 drumsticks on my plate. Give me 2 scoops of mashed potatoes. Give me 1 whole ladle of that gravy. Daddy hungry. And that's exactly what Keon did. Keon was like, yo, was that Khalil? Pass me your plate. Give me that chicken. I want that. That's exactly what he did. It's supposed to be for Keon. It was supposed to be for Khalil. Keon was like, nah, I got this, bro. Give me that plate. You gonna eat your biscuit? You gonna eat your biscuit? Cook that biscuit. Point I'm trying to make is this. It's always nice to have someone on the squad that respects the everybody eats thing, but there's a little bit more that they can put on the table. And I think Josh is realizing that. So while Josh is serving, he's serving everybody. He's making sure everybody eats. But he knows the big dog. You gotta give him a little bit more on his plate. And I think that's what we're starting to see. You gonna eat your cornbread? Khalil's like, I guess you can have it. So Keon was like, thank you. That's what I'm saying, man. So that cornbread, Keon got 2 cornbreads on his plate and some mash and more of that brisket. Wherever the hell Josh is serving, Keon want that. And that's exactly what we saw Sunday night. Now, is it going to be spread amongst everybody else? Is Kincaid next week against the Jets going to say, hey, I need mine? Because that Jets, let me tell you something. I was watching the Jets, and there was some shout out to my man Carl Jones. Carl Jones pointed out something that I found very fascinating. You guys may not be able to see what I'm showing you here, but if you look at the Jets and you see the amount of man coverage that they play, not a whole lot of zero coverage. The Chiefs played a lot of zero coverage. That's very bold of them. But if you look at the Jets played 38, almost 38, 39% of the time they're in man coverage. They're playing cover 1. So, folks, you know who's going to have to really step their game up. Really going to have to step their game up. Because if you don't, you're in trouble. So, Keon, all that separation you've been practicing all summer, you got to do it because you already know who's out there. The Jets with Aaron Glenn running things, he's pretty much taking the philosophy that he had with Detroit and bringing it to these boys. Although they lost that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a good squad. That's a good-looking squad. So we got to have our hands cut out. Back-to-back mobile quarterbacks, a good receiving core. The run game is pretty solid. They got two big-time running backs, Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. They got some guys that can run the football. So we're going to have our hands cut out. We're going to have our hands full. It's going to be interesting. So a lot of man. So we need our separators. So maybe Palmer becomes the one saying, "We eat your cornbread because I want that." We'll see next week against the Jets. Absolutely fun. Absolutely fun. So offensive side of the ball, well done. I'm not going to go too much into it. Almost 400 plus yards of offense. You love to see it. These guys are back on track, putting points on the board. Too bad I can't say the same about the defense. Let me get to the defense, folks. I like our personnel. I like what we have on the defensive line. I like what we have at linebacker. I somewhat like what we have in the defensive backfield if we're healthy. I like it overall. I did not like the performance that we gave on Sunday, allowing these guys to run absolutely wild all over us. Derrick Henry had 3 runs of 30 plus, just with ease, bouncing brothers off the turf with his hand. I'm going to say this, though. Not to get into too much of what the Ravens did, but when you go to the defense, there were some moments where you needed to, we got to reevaluate some things. We have to reevaluate some things. But this is not about what I'm about to talk about now. Ed freaking Oliver. Ed freaking Oliver, a.k.a. Edward. Edward came out to play. I don't know what that brother ate that morning. I don't know what or who put him aside and pulled him aside and whispered something in his ear, but he wasn't playing around. I don't want to hear Ravens fans talk about number 77 was terrible, and that's the reason I ain't trying to hear none. I'm not trying to hear none of that because the Ravens, that very Ravens team, was one of the teams that had the most sacks last year. You guys pretty much brought the same team back. I don't want to hear none. All right? So I bring this up because Ed Oliver did what he was supposed to do against someone that didn't bring their game. Because we didn't hear nothing when y'all were running left and running right and 70 yards running for my man Lamar Jackson. They putting up 20, 30, 40 points on us. We didn't hear nothing about the O-line. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear nothing about you complaining about your O-line. But the minute Ed started doing what he needed to do, number 77, oh, number this. Bro, with the good, you got to take it with the bad. Ed Oliver was absolutely a menace that night. Absolute menace. And when you watch the film, even Baldinger was like, dude, there was no answer for him. He was ripping inside, getting great leverage, stopping guys in the backfield. This guy, if he doesn't get Defensive Player of the Week, I ain't sure what these guys are smoking. If Josh Allen doesn't get Offensive Player of the Week, I don't know what to do. Those two guys should be getting those accolades. No question about it. But Ed freaking Oliver absolutely looked like the first-round draft pick that we all envisioned. This guy was on the money. This guy was focused. He was where he needed to be at the right time, right place, everything. And to say that he got us back in the game is an understatement. That fumble strip was everything. Somebody on Twitter said something that was so crucial. Everyone knows Derrick Henry's stiff arm is one of the best in the game. If before Derrick Henry's stiff arm, LaDainian Tomlinson has one of the best stiff arms. Not too strong, just enough to get that separation and move away. Right? Move away. Because some people use that leverage for that stiff arm to take the weight of the defender coming to them and get off a little bit. Derrick Henry abused his ability to stiff arm. You can't stiff arm in every position that you're in. If you're running away from a defender, cool. Stiff arm. Give him the Heisman. But you can't try to stiff arm from the front while trying to hold on to the football, you're behind the line of scrimmage. Protect the rock. Everyone knows that. Ed Oliver was like, oh, you want to play that game? Don't forget, I'm 290 pounds. You ain't gonna bounce me off the turf like you did to Cole Bishop. You ain't gonna throw me out the club like you did to Josh Norman. My name is Edward freaking Oliver. My man came in, let me have that. And the rest is history. Ed Oliver. That game is the type of game that will have you become a Pro Bowler this year. Give me some more, because right now you have some competition next week. Quinnen Williams is coming to town. You got some competition. You got to outplay these boys. But Ed Oliver was absolutely a star. He was the best defensive player on the Bills, bar none, not even close. You'll love to see it. Big shout out to Ed Oliver. You did your damn thing, baby. You did your damn thing. You love to see it. So we talk about how Ed Oliver did. We talk about give me some good things that happened to the defense. I got to give one more shout out. This player in particular, we weren't sure what was going to happen. We weren't sure what was going to take place. But Dorian Strong absolutely held his own under the bright lights against some good competition. Although he had some bumps and bruises along the way, for your first time getting on the field as the third string corner, and you're the one about to get the start next to Benford, you did all right, my young boy. You did all right. And that's the type of stuff that you got to give Sean McDermott and Bobby Babbage their credit. You got to give them their credit, because for some odd reason, they continue to always have their DBs prepared, next man up. And it's a shame, because you had a first-round draft pick in Kyer Elam that just couldn't grasp and just couldn't be trusted. Had we had Kyer Elam on the squad on Sunday, I would not have trusted him. I would not have trusted him. Dorian can be trusted. And it was clear. He was getting in on tackles. He was defending downfield. Like, there was that run with Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry was waiting to stiff arm. And it's a game of chess, because you're like, if I go too high, he's gonna just bump me away. If I go too low and I go for his legs, he might high step me out. I gotta try to find a way to try to get him down. And the whole time that he's running next to Derrick Henry, I'm like, what's he doing? What's he waiting for? Until I realized he's just waiting for the right, bat his arm down and try to get him. And he did. He brought that brother down. At first, I thought it was Dorian Williams. But it was freaking Dorian Strong that came in and did that. They both got the freaking dreadlocks. Big shout out to Dorian Strong. My guy. It's going to be interesting. When, they said medics are like, yo, Trey, how you feel? I think I'm ready to go, coach. Yeah, dog, go check that ankle out a little bit more. We just want to make sure he's really good. Dorian, you ready to go another one? All right, bet. This is a great problem to have. Big shout out to McDermott and Bean finding this talent in the 6th round. Although it's just one game, but it was enough of a game to say you can be trusted. You can be trusted. Now, as for the rest of that defense, hey, not so great. And I'm gonna be real. I mean, I want to have a moment to share and talk about this defense. But before I do, I want to talk about a few other things that are important, right? And if you guys have been living under a rock, obviously, there's a whole lot of games that went down. There's a game coming up on Thursday. If you guys have been living under a rock, shame on you guys. There's a big game coming up on Thursday. I don't know if you guys are familiar. The Commanders are going to be playing the Packers now. Jane Daniels, they got that rookie running back doing big things. Folks, there's a lot of things going down. And if you guys have been living under a rock and just aren't familiar with what's taking place and what's going down in Buffalo and what's going down around the league and what the Buffalo Fanatics are doing, get with it. So, folks, let me just pick up my picks here. I want to give you guys a heads up because obviously you guys have seen this, that we got a little something going on with Sleeper. And I want you guys to understand that these are the biggest things that are happening right now. So if you've heard of Sleeper app, if you haven't heard of Sleeper app, you guys need to get on it, man. Here's a little secret. It's more than just the platform for the season-long fantasy. You guys already know this already, right? So this year, millions of the users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more. If you guys aren't on Sleeper, get on it. Live stats, real-time updates, the visualizations on all the stats, all the players, you see it. The news feed. You're getting real-time updates on your feed, favorite players and teams and all of that. Real-time chat, engage with the others about the individual plays and performances during the NFL season. Folks, don't play around. Download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. You guys already know what time it is. So, folks, you guys already know there's only one thing to do. Make sure, get that app, download it, and go from there. But understand, use the promo code BF25 on the Sleeper and get 100% match up to $100. www.sleeper.com, promo BF25. All right? Terms and conditions always apply. Remember, Sleeper app. Now, what picks are we making? That's the biggest thing, right? So let me share my screen real quick for y'all, and let's have a look. See, let me just share my screen here. Give me a second here. Like, let me figure my life out. And let's see. Let me get my stuff in order here. Give me a moment. Uno momento, my peoples. All right, let me share my screen real quick. Yeah. All right, here we go. So, as you guys can see, we got things cracking here. Hold on a second. My screen is all messing up on me, so hang tight. Don't you love technology sometimes? Hold on, let me fix myself here. All my stuff is all jacked up. Uno momento. Here we go. Boom. I love when these things mess up on me, and I got to fix myself up. Here we go. There we go. There we have it. All right, so let me share my screen real quick so you guys can see what's happening here. So what are we doing? How are we going to do this? Who am I going to go with? So if you can see it, I got Jane Daniels. If you're looking at Jane Daniels for pass yards, I'm going with Moore. I'm going with Jane Daniels with the Moore. I can't see him underperforming. I think he's going to do big things, and I think he's the next big star in this game. To me, that's the way I see it. I'm going with the Moore on this one. Now, they traded Brian Robinson Jr. You know what I'm saying? Many men wish death upon me. You guys remember him? They had him come out, got shot. They had him come out there, showing him all that love, Commanders love, and then they shipped him off. So he's in San Francisco right now. So now you got Krosky Merritt. So now they're saying, hey, 42 yards, 42.5 yards. What are we saying? Are we saying more or are we saying less? To me, I think he's up and coming. I like Eckler. Eckler's a good dude, good back, but he isn't the dude. So I think you're going to see more from me when it comes to Mr. Krosky Merritt. All right, Jaden Reed, you know what I mean? So for the Packers, right? So what do we think about Jaden Reed with him having the receiving yards, right? For less or more. I like the Commanders' defense. I think the Commanders' defense is a lot better than people want to give them credit for. I don't know, and there's a lot of big time receivers out there. They got that rookie out there, so I'm gonna give Reed less. I'm gonna go less than 43 yards, right? So we're gonna see how that goes. You know how big time night games are. Sometimes people, they buckle under pressure. And we have the big star, Parsons. Listen, man, this guy, if you saw that clip of him chasing down Jared Goff, somebody said it properly. And before they even said it, that's what it looked like to me. He chased that brother down like a lion was chasing down a gazelle. It was just what the inevitable is going to happen. Get rid of the ball, Goff, get rid of the ball. Never got rid of the ball. Micah Parsons, 1 sack, 0.05 sack. Listen, give me more. He might have multiple. With the way the Lions looked on that game last week, So that's the way I'm looking at it, folks. So you guys let me know what your thoughts are, and go ahead, man. So don't forget the promo code BF25. BF25 is what you want to use. So go ahead and download the Sleeper app, and then we'll go from there, folks. So love to see it. So now let's move on to what I really wanted to chat on. Okay, and that's who stood out, who hasn't stood out. There's a whole lot of things that I do want to touch on. And when you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, you're looking at the defense side of the ball, I got to talk about Coach McDermott. I like Coach. He got the win. He got all that, but he's got to get a little bit of smoke from me. He's got to get a little bit of smoke from a lot of us. And I'll tell you why. You went heavy on defense in the draft, but the one position that most folks are saying, we should address this position. I think it's necessary. We did nothing with it. That's the safety room. So what do? You bring in Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer is now on the practice squad. I'm sure Jordan Poyer daily is dying inside because he's sitting in a position he's never been in since he's been with Buffalo. He's been an active player, and if he wasn't just being active, he was a starter. He goes to Miami, the putrid Miami Dolphins. He starts for them. He wants an opportunity to play. Now, whether he gets that will determine how stubborn Brandon Beane and McDermott want to be. Whether you want to call it stubborn or whether you want to call it patience. There's a very thin line between stubborn and patience, hard-headed and being patient. And right now, McDermott is teetering. He's on the tightrope. Because if you're being patient, that means you believe in what you have in Cole Bishop and obviously Taylor Rapp. But if you're stubborn, you had an opportunity to go out and get Jabril Peppers, and you let that brother go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. How much money would it have taken to get a veteran guy that can still play at a high level in this game? You couldn't go get him? How much money was going to ask for? What would have been too much? Chat, ask. I want to know, what would have been too much? I was in the group chat today, and I was asking Bobby, what would be too much? Because we were talking about, like, yo, why didn't we go get him? Why did we, bring him in for a tryout? We had a whole bunch of people in for tryouts today. Why not? 10 mil? Because that's what Bobby said. Yo, if it was 10 mil, if he's asking for $10 million, I would say, okay, I get it. So then what would have been the right amount? 5, 6, 7 mil? I wonder, and if somebody already knows this, I'd love to know what Jabril Peppers signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because right now, the way I saw the safeties play against the Ravens, bad angles, missed tackles, missed assignments, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. I need my safeties to understand where they're supposed to be. I need my safeties to be impactful. And I think at the end of the day, that's my challenge and that's my problem. We don't have a safety that is impactful. I'm not saying that you can find an Ed Reed anywhere and come in and do work. But I need a safety that isn't afraid to, jump a route, jump on something, isn't afraid to come in and make a tackle, make the big tackles and take the right angles. Has to be the right place. I think that's what we're missing. And what makes me question this, and then I go back and forth with my thoughts, is that I also have to respect McDermott's defense. And historically, with the Bills, they've always been a good defensive team when it comes to defending the pass. So I have to chill and kind of say, okay, relax a little bit. But I'm also, as a fan and as I guess an analyst of this team, I'm looking at the product, and the product looked god awful on Sunday night. You can't allow the 31-year-old Derrick Henry, I know he's different, to just run amok all over you. 169 rushing yards week 1 when everybody's healthy and fresh. Let's not forget, he did almost 200 yards rushing on us last year, but we were missing a lot of guys. We had everybody. A healthy Milano, a healthy Bernard. What more did you want? I'm paying attention. I'm hoping that the Ravens game was an anomaly, that this is not going to happen again. And what I love about McDermott's defense, and what I love about McDermott himself, he ain't going to have two. It's rare. Let me just say he ain't. It's rare for him to have 2 stints back to back of poor defensive play. He's going to get on everybody's butt. Everyone's going to get on their own behinds and really step up and really handle themselves against the Jets. Because if you saw what the Jets looked like against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is considered a pretty good defense, we may have some issues. Now, Justin Fields is very different from Lamar, but they're both really athletic quarterbacks. And you cannot sleep on Justin Fields' athleticism because that boy is top notch. So what we need is for the defense collectively to step up, but I'm not going to just put it on the safeties. I know they look bad, but so do the linebackers. I can't get away from it. Milano didn't look great. Bernard didn't look great. Greg Rousseau didn't look great. We got to bounce back. And I know this team is good enough. Oh, look at Walter. Walter's kind of sharing the same thing, right? Was great defending the pass, except against elite passing attack. The Ravens have been elite passing attack since last year. Well, it didn't look good yesterday on Sunday. So this is why there's high scrutiny on how they will decide to bounce back or how they're going to bounce back. That's what I'm looking forward to. I need to see how these guys bounce back. The bright side is McDermott usually has these guys prepared whenever they have a garbage day. Oh no, y'all gonna fix this up. You guys are gonna fix this issue. We can't have back-to-back 30+ points put on us. Hell no. And the way that I saw the Jets moving the football on Pittsburgh, they're very capable of putting 25+. Very capable. And the way I saw our defense defending the Ravens, this defense is very capable of allowing 25+ points. So which one's going to give? McDermott, we all going to be watching, bro. That defense has to give. But it's not just always on coaching. And this is what I get on. I got to get on. Because McDermott may put you guys in the right position and calls the right play, but execution is poor. Tackling is poor. All of that stuff is poor. We got to be better. We absolutely have to be better. We have to be better. Now, let me stick to my notes here. Let me stick to my notes because I'm there, but I just kind of wanted to get on that. But defensively, we got to be far better than what we were. We have to be far better than what we were. So here's how I look at it. You guys already know what time it is. Milk carton alert. The milk carton alert. Who should be on this list? Who went missing in action Sunday night? Was it anybody on the offense? Was it anybody on the defense? Who stood up for you? That you were like, yo, where did he go? Yo, anybody see him? Oh, shoot, he's on the milk carton? Golly. Who's it going to be? Talk to me. The chat, I'm going to let you guys jump in there. I have my candidate. Milano or Bernard? Golly. Bosa? Okay. Elijah Moore? Bet. Taron Johnson? Bet. Groot? Bet. Okay. My man said, yo, Ed Oliver basically saved us. Yo, if not for those big plays, man, we would have been in trouble. Somebody said shavers. Leave that man alone, man. Leave that brother alone. All right. Milk carton alert. I'm not just putting one player on this one. I'm putting two. And you guys nailed it. I needed to see more. I needed to feel more impact from both my linebackers in Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard. They got pushed around. They took bad angles. And it was evident with how Derrick Henry had 3 runs where he was essentially untouched. Untouched. That brother's jersey was clean. If not for freaking Ed Oliver putting paws on him, that brother was clean. You're watching Lamar Jackson hold the football, pull it away, jump in there and do business. Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, I need to see y'all show up because y'all went missing for me. If not for the play of Ed Oliver, my goodness, I don't know where we'd be. I'm going to add 2 more people. I know it's a small sample size, and I saw somebody mention it, and I can't get away from it because it kind of started in the offseason. And I try to be as real as possible. You guys know I try to be unbiased. Let me take this milk carton alert down for this person because I just can't do it to him like that. Yo, Ray Davis, I need more. When James Cook is being spelled, he needs a breather. I can't have you losing yardage. I need you to be decisive. There was indecisiveness coming from you. What you had, like 3 carries? And they were uninspiring. But this goes back into preseason. You had opportunities in preseason and just to the point where they're like, yo, get Johnson in the game. Johnson comes in and gives a spark. Ray. I'm one of your biggest fans, bro. I'm one of your biggest fans, man. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me. You're killing me, Davis. You're killing me. Bounce back. When they put you in the game, give me something, man, because keep messing around, brother. Keep messing around. They might say, hey, Frank Gore, what you up to? You trying to play? You trying to get active? And let me tell you, McDermott won't mess around. He'll do it. He will absolutely do it. Show me something. Because if you let that happen and Frank Gore gets an opportunity, he may not let that shit go. He may not let that go. Now, I'm still a fan. I still think you have great ability. But fam, I don't know, man. Now, I will say this. James Cook ran for 40 yards. We weren't in the position to run the football. There was a point where Joe Brady had to say, abandon ship, we can't run the football. And I love Joe Brady because sometimes he will stick to running the football. However, James Cook wasn't going anywhere either. So it was going to be difficult for Ray Davis to come in and just give us that spark. But sometimes that's what we need. If one guy is just not seeing it well, throw in another guy. I'll give you that little bit of grace. But this stems back in the offseason, my G. I need a little bit more. All right. Last person that I'm going to put on the milk carton alert. And this one's for the Ravens fans. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Tin Man, a.k.a. Harbaugh. Harbaugh, where was your heart? Where was your heart? Missing. You deserve to be on that milk carton alert because your guys needed you to step up and say, one of y'all step up. But you took the cowardly way out and you punted. You went safe. Safe don't get you nothing in this game. Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. And I say this. Had you gone for it with the way the defense was playing, bro, you probably would have got it. But you didn't trust your quarterback. You didn't trust your running back. You certainly didn't trust your offense. And you gave the game away. Actually, we took it. Kudos to my guy, Ed Oliver. The Ravens. I love the Ravens. You got to give some love a little bit. I mean, they fought hard, but just not good enough. Sorry, fellas. Not good enough. Now, before I get out of here, let me see. I'm going to check my notes here. We made some moves today, and I think this is a crucial move. If you guys, I mean, it's crucial news enough. Brad Robbins. You're probably like, what? Who the heck is Brad Robbins? That's right. Brad Robbins was silent all offseason. Brad Robbins, our punter, released. He was sent home for, I guess you would call it, poor performance. And we brought in a new kicker. And this new kicker goes by the name of, let me check my notes. Where we at? I believe Cameron Johnson, is it? Let me just make sure I got it right. Let me just make sure. Yes, Cameron Johnston. Excuse me. Cameron Johnston was a newly signed punter. Now, most folks would be like, okay, who cares? But it matters because 3 phases to the game, it's absolutely important. Now, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You guys are shameful for not following me. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And I posted today. Shout out to my guy, Draft Diamonds, my man Damon. Damon put it out earlier that the Buffalo signing Cameron Johnston. And I was like, well, why is this significant? Like, why of all things did we have to move on from a punter? It's because he wasn't punting very well. This guy he netted 38 yards. So what does that mean? It's clear. That means he's not getting enough hang time. Hang time and some strength behind your kick is absolutely important in this game. If you're kicking it short and you're not giving us enough time to get down there to make a play, and you're not flipping the field, because essentially that's what we want. Flip the field. Put the opposition at a disadvantage. And if you're not kicking high enough, and you're not having enough time for us to get to the football, you got to go. And that's exactly what Brandon Beane and McDermott did. They got rid of him. He was netting 38 yards a kick. Okay. So what's that considered? For those that are not familiar with, okay, so 38 yards, what does that mean? Right? 38 yards is considered poor, not good. It's not even the average. I would have told you average. You know, Sam Martin was average, and he was better than this guy. So the NFL average last year, according to my notes, 47 yards a punt with a net of 41 yards. So that's telling you that's enough height for guys to get underneath and make a play. And that's just average. Okay. Inside the 20. Average in the NFL, you have to get about 35 to 40% of your kicks need to get inside the 20. We weren't doing that. Robbins certainly wasn't doing that. So Bills needed a punter. And if you're going to have a punter in this league, you need a punter that can give you 44 yards of net, at least. That's what you need. 44. You can't net 38. You ain't going to do anything with that. So that's why we went with Cameron Johnston. He's coming in there, and he's about to take over the kicking duties. So we got 2 brand new kickers. And this is crucial because you got a new kicker with a new holder, and they got no chemistry with one another. Robbins was at least here for the offseason, and he got time to bond and do all this stuff. Now you got a new kicker, you got a new punter, and now these two got to become like this, because the same way we just made Prater a hero, he could be a freaking joke next week if these two don't get it together. So hopefully Cameron Johnston, the veteran, comes in and he can handle his business, and we don't have to have any mishaps of fumble or snap too high. Y'all got a week. Y'all got a week to make sure you guys get it down pat. My man Walter says, is this punter over 40? Actually, he's not. I think he's actually quite young, actually. I think he's actually, I can't say he's quite young. I got to find out how old he is. I'm not sure how old he is. If you guys want to find out how old he is, let me know. Because I'm not sure how old he is. But I'm sure he's been in the league enough, so I'm sure that he's savvy enough that he can get the job done. Before I get out of here, let me get a couple super chats in. By the way, we got 1,000 people watching right now on a Tuesday night overall. Salute to y'all. We got over 200 people on the YouTube right now. We got 600, almost 800 on Twitter, on X. So salute to y'all. Do me a favor. If you're in here on Twitter, on YouTube, smash that like for your boy. Smash that like for your boy. Let's get this video. Let's get this stream to 300. 300 likes is doable. Do me a favor. Just click that thumbs up. Click that thumbs up and let's get it cracking. All right. Jason Miller. What up, Jace? Jace says, yo, the defense was far from good, but showed up when we needed them to. You're 100%. And that's why you don't want to come down on them too much because week 1 is such a crapshoot. Like everybody's trying to get the jitters out. Everybody's trying to get used to each other. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But we can't have that repeat next week and the week after that and the week after that because we're going to be facing some teams that could give us some problems, right? So we just got to handle our business one by one, keep healthy, and keep rolling. So, but that's the way I look at it too. So, Jason, I'm with you, bro. I'm totally with you. My man Jason comes back and says, yo, do you think we are potentially shopping Curtis Samuel? Ooh, that's a great question. You know what I was thinking? Let me take you through the rabbit hole of what Rico was thinking when Curtis Samuel was put on as a healthy scratch. We went with 5 receivers. So I'm thinking to myself, and it makes, at first I was like, nah, it's not, I'm not really thinking about that. But then I'm like, maybe they are. So let's just say they're shopping Curtis Samuel because it crossed my mind. They're shopping Curtis Samuel. They're waiting for some guys to potentially have some injuries. Maybe they're shopping him because a healthy scratch for $8 million is sickening. It's absolutely sickening. You got $8 million sitting there. At least when Von Miller was a healthy scratch, he was an old man. They're making him help us scratch because we're going to need you in the playoffs. He didn't really do diddly squat for us in the playoffs, but you can understand why they made him a healthy scratch, an expensive healthy scratch, nonetheless, healthy scratch. Curtis Samuel, on the other end, this is week 1. Week 1, and you're a healthy scratch? It makes me wonder. So are they shopping him? Now, typically what you would do is if you're going to shop someone, you would, give them all the attention in the world in the offseason. Maybe give them the attention in the world, in week 1, and then showcase them, and then send them packing. Can't really do much with this on the sideline. So then it keeps making me go in my rabbit hole. So if they shop him, that means they have Elijah Moore. But if Elijah Moore continues to just be, do they, dare I say, move on from Elijah Moore and make him a healthy scratch and then activate Gabe? But you only have so many activations unless you put him as on the active roster. So I'm paying attention. This is where I stopped going because I'm like, I'm putting myself through a hole that I don't want to go into. But it's there. So I'm paying attention to Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, Gabe Davis. If something happens that they don't like what's going on, you might see Gabe Davis. Now, this is a far stretch. I'm stretching this beat. I'm stretching it, but it's possible. I'm just paying attention. I'm paying attention. So I appreciate you, Jason Mill. You're my guy, man. Oh, my man. Jason Mill come back with a triple. He goes, hey, why are we so hung up on Jabril Peppers? Like 4 teams in 8 years. I don't know if it's a bit about being hung up on him, but when you look at what's available at safety that has the experience, that's done some things in this game, and that would probably be an upgrade over some players on the squad, you would at least consider it. And I think that's why people bring him up, because he's available. Like when he got cut, we're like, oh, shoot, Jabril Peppers? That boy can still play. Here we are, Jabril Peppers. Now, it's funny because Jabril Peppers was being shopped, and the other safety in New England, he's eluding my mind, but the young guy, we wanted him when he was in the draft, and then New England jumped on him. I can't think of his name at the moment, but I thought he was available. But they never moved off from him. So here we are. So why are we hung up on him? I don't know if we're hung up on him. I think we're paying attention to what our guys are doing. And if it's not looking good, at least you want options. You want to be able to find options. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to poo-poo on Cole Bishop because it feels like it's too soon to poo-poo on Cole Bishop. But those boys did not look good on that day. Now, do we have to see more from Cole? Does Cole need to have that Cole game where we're like, okay, He's where he needs to be. He just needs to warm up. And him and Taylor Rapp, maybe they're just not on the same page. Who knows? One thing's for sure, I am certainly not trying to see and not. I want to be able to see more from Cole, and it's a tough matchup. But this is where you wanted him to step up, because the same way that we could have said, "Hey man, Dorian Strong got beat. He was beat like a mule, and he was terrible." No, he stepped up. He didn't look as bad as people, as Cole Bishop would have looked, and how the safeties looked. It just didn't look good. Bad angles, all that, etc. So can they bounce back? Yes. Will they bounce back? I truly believe so. Because in a McDermott defense, you ain't going to have two performances back-to-back. You're not going to have two bad performances back-to-back. So I'm hoping that he kind of, he's getting warmed up. He's getting, the speed of the game to slow down a little bit, and he comes out and shows us what he's all about. We'll see. Man, Slick Crook. What up, Slick Crook? Yo, it ain't too soon. Rico we was proposing on Keon Coleman showed up. Poo-pooing, excuse me. We were poo-pooing on Keon Coleman and showed up. Bishops look so. And that's why I said I'm not ready to like move off and say, oh, he a bum and he this. He young still. He young. But I mean, shoot, we paying attention too, because you keep up with these so performances. This is not a so NFL league. You keep playing so, you're gonna be, on the go out of town, and we ain't trying to have that. You know what I'm saying? So let's calamate a little bit. Even myself, I have to chill out a little bit and just let it play out. Let them develop. Let them do that, because everybody needs that opportunity to, like, let me get the live bullets at me, man. I know that was the first. That one was like a shotgun. Live bullets is one thing, but you had shotgun after shotgun shots coming at you. You're like, golly, I'm trying to just get my bearings right. Well, shoot, maybe those shotguns don't stop, man. Film don't lie. And if they see that you take poor angles constantly, and you're not, you're not up for it, they're gonna key on you guys, man. That's why the film is of utmost importance. The film is out. 1 week's film is out. So now everybody's looking at the film. Week 1, you're going into it just, I'm doing my best plays. You're doing your best plays. I'm looking at what you did last year. You have the same offensive coordinator. Okay, what kind of plays does this offensive coordinator have? What's the personnel look like? There's so much that goes into this. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, folks. Let me look at my notes here. Did I forget anything? Sometimes you got to look at the notes, man. Sometimes you have things you want to talk about, and you're like, I didn't get a chance to talk about that. Why didn't I? And I think I got everything I wanted to get off my chest. Lovely. Any questions? Anything that's standing out to you guys going into this Sunday game, actually, against the Jets? And by the way, it is not too late for people to jump in and become a YouTube member, because that allows you to go into the draw for the giveaway. We're going to be giving away tickets to join myself and Bot and the Roundtable Sports dudes to hang out, watch the game, come to the event on Wednesday, Thursday game in the booth, having a good time. Y'all don't want to miss it. And the value for those that are going, you already know what time it is. The value is not cheap. So you have an opportunity. Members, you're already in. If you're a member, you're already in. I got to do some verification on a lot of folks to make sure that they are members. Some people, they hit me up. They're like, yo, I just want to make sure that I'm a member. Did you see my stuff? This is your opportunity. Thursday is when we close the opportunity for you guys to become a member, so we can make that draw. And then we will go from there. My girl Laura's like, oh my God, I can't wait. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, Laura, I got a big old hug ready for you. Big time. I mean, I'm ready. I got a big old hug ready for you. You know what I'm saying? You've been showing love for a long time, and I'm showing love to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't come to Buffalo often. I don't come to Buffalo, man. These tariffs, we have our own people that are a mess right now. You feel me? So, I mean, hopefully they show me some love when I cross that border and they don't give me no hard time. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it'll be all right. I think it'll be fine. All right. I think that's my time, folks. I think that's my time. I think we did it. I feel like I need to share more, but I think I'm good. And I'm probably going to log off stream, and then I'm like, I didn't get a chance to hit that. It's all good. We'll go from there. Folks, the BF Discord. You hear my girl Laura's in there. You got to join the BF Discord, man. Pierre actually, I think we're going into it tonight. I think Pierre was going to do some film and he was going to go in the Discord chat and we're going to look at film and do all that stuff. Dude, get in there. What y'all waiting for, man? It's free. If you're a member already from the BF YouTube, you guys are already members, it's already in there. And if you aren't a member, bro, go try it out. Go see what you like. And if you like it, you win. It's easy. It's easy. Don't play around. Don't play around. All right. Let me get some questions in before I get out of here, and then we'll go from there. My man Mike. What up, Mike? Big Mike says, yo, I'm thinking Bishop and Hancock at safety. At my least, they are better athletes than the other two. Well, you're referring to Taylor Rapp. I actually like Taylor Rapp. I think Taylor Rapp is a good safety. Young, and he's played in this game. I don't think he just had a good game. His game wasn't the greatest. I'll have to give him that, but the whole defense didn't play well. I mean, I'm gonna show you guys something. I gotta look up PFF. If you saw the grades that they gave out for PFF, you guys will be shocked. Let me see if I can share my screen for y'all. Because it wasn't good. All right, let me see what we got here. Let me roll on down. Do they have it yet? Oh, they didn't. I think I saw it on something else. Dude, okay, let me see if I can remember by memory. By memory, Bernard Milano Rapp had a PFF grade of 29.7. Something stupid. Something absolutely terrible. So it wasn't a good performance for anybody. It was not a good performance for everybody. So there you have it. I mean, there's not much else for me to share. It was not a good day for the defense, and we need to be better. Now, I will say this though. You know who had a great PFF grade? Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver had a 92.1 overall grade. His run defense grade was 92.7. 92.7, folks. That tells you that boy was on it. He was on it. That boy was dialed in. And you'd love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more improvement from our guys. It's got to be way better. It's got to be way better. I know my man Dave Myers from BIB. That's my guy. He actually was the one that posted it. I'm gonna see if I can see the numbers here. Maybe I can share it if I can find it. But my black behind can't find it. So here we are. It is what it is. But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't a good day. It absolutely was not a good day. And I'm hoping that we bounce back. We need to bounce back. It's just that simple. It's imperative that we bounce back. And the Jets, a division foe. You already know what time it is, man. We don't play with the division. The division is for keeps. And by the way, here's what's trending. By the way, just so you know, the Bills, Kaiir Elam had a 65 overall grade, run defense 65, by the way, and 63 in coverage grade. So that's what he had. That's your boy Kaiir. Here come the Bills. The Bills lowest. Let me share my man BIB's page. Because I need y'all to see this, man. Because don't take my word for it. Hold on, let me just remove this and stop sharing that. Let me get to my page real quick. There we go. If you saw the grades, you'd be like, "Ugh, that's nasty work. Absolute nasty work." Yo, check this out. Look at this mess. Somebody look at this. Taylor Rapp, 29.1. TJ Sanders, 29.6. Matt Milano, 29.7. Terrell Bernard, 29.7. AJ Epinesa, 43. Bro, you got 3 of your 5 starters, key personnel, grading at 29.1, sub 30. That's when you know that, okay, we're not going to see that again, are we? Are we really going to see that again? I hope not. I really hope not. So let's just hope there was an anomaly. These guys will get their acts together and we'll be just fine going into the Jets. But you know how it is, man. Division games are always tough. So we got to handle business and take care of business. That's all that comes to it. You got to handle your business. So, all right, folks, that's my time. I really appreciate you guys. You guys already know that as well. And if there's anything that I missed, you guys already know what time it is, man. Just hit me up on Twitter. And I gotta go ice my shoulder and my back because all that, you got me being like the thigh doc, man. I can't. I'm old, man. I can't be doing this no more, man. All these close games that got me punching air and all that stuff. I'm too old for this. I can't do that no more. That being said, I'm out of here, folks. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening. It's your boy Rico, and we'll catch you guys again on the flip. Don't forget, hit that like before you get out of here. Go ahead, and if you haven't got your merch, go get your merch. Oh, by the way, I got to show up these pants, by the way. You haven't seen these yet. Yo, check these out. Where they at? Oh, you see these? You got to get those, man. Don't ask me where I got them because I don't remember. But that's what I got. So, folks, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll catch you guys on the flip, man. It's your boy Rico. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. It's the Rico Report. And we'll catch you guys on the flip. You guys have a great night. Peace.